Good evening. Good evening. The Panthers are laying the egg. I was going to do this after the game, but they're not going to win, so we're going to do it now. What we're going to talk about is successful dating. Now, we need to put a few qualifiers in here. What is dating? I have seen some crazy stuff on Facebook that dating is a reward for sex, or no. This is dating. You meet up or you go pick up a woman, you go out somewhere, you have a good time, you bring her back home, and you go home. Or you meet up somewhere and you go home and she goes home. True dating does not involve sex, because if you're dating to be successful, you're looking for more than sex. And I don't see any other reason to date if you're getting sex. So this is a whole different ball game. All right, this is Glendon Cameron, founder of Hustlers Kung Fu, where your real financial education begins. Plus, we delve off into some other topics. So tonight's special, and it is a special. Let me get into this. Whoa, that's not what I want. All right, I may probably fill this out as we do this. Tonight's special is the Disruptive Mating Romance Success Pack. Includes disruptive mating, includes the child support, includes the parental contracts, plus a special course that's coming later. Now, to get this price, you must buy during the live stream. The link is below the video, because as soon as the stream is over, it's going to go up to like $400 or $500. So just letting you know that, and I'll mention this again. So let's start off with the most critical and the first point. What do you want from her? You as a man need to be crystal clear on what you want from her. Understand, women naturally follow. And if you are not leading, they're not going to follow. It's going to get muddy and it's going to get messy. So before you step to her, you should put in your head, I want sex. There's nothing wrong with going up to a woman and saying, look, I want to get into something physical with you. It's open, it's honest. She's going to say yes, or she's going to say no. You got a 50% chance of her saying no, because it's one woman. Now, if you are feeling something a little different, if you're feeling the flutter in your heart, and you're feeling all of this other stuff, first thing you should do is test her attraction level to you. This is something that many men do not do. You need to test this woman 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 20 times just to be sure. So how does one test her attraction level to you? I'll tell you a little story. I met this girl at a business meetup. I didn't test her. I saw her, she saw me. I thought I saw a gleam in her eyes, did not see a gleam in her eyes. She saw me as a networking opportunity, and that's why she was acting and being very open and friendly. So we go on a date, and I put my arm around her, and she acted like my arm was coated in acid. What are you doing? What are you doing? And I was like, Glendon, you have messed up. This woman doesn't even like you. But one of the things is, and we'll get to how to successfully date interesting and creative dates later. So at that point, I went into look at the time. And she said, we got to go. I was like, you know what? I got a meeting in the morning. I got to roll out. I am so sorry. And I bailed on the date, took her home, went home, and left it alone. If she is not attracted to you, there ain't nothing you can do to make her attracted to you. It is what it is. Just, take your losses and move on. So the next thing is, after you've ascertained that you want her in some capacity, you must test her generosity. Now, this is real big. And when I say test her generosity, you don't have to spend any money. You want to sit back and see how she treats other people. You want to, if you get the chance to go to her car, is her car parked in the middle of the garage? That's a bad sign. You want to create situations where you can watch and see how she responds. Does she talk down to wait staff? Is she rude to people who are serving her? Because I know you may be blinded by the booty, but put your eyes together and watch and listen, because she will tell you who she is. It's coming out, which we'll get into some other points later. So after you've ascertained, because what you want to do is create what I call micro dates, 3 to 4 of them. And this is how you play it off. Hey, you know, I got some errands to run this weekend. Would you like to come along? Now, this is a very critical moment. If she says no, or she comes up with, I have some stuff to do, I'm already committed. Now, this is how you flip it. So later on, you come back and he's like, you know what? I'm going to do those errands later. You want to go out? And if she says yes, that means that she lied to you. And then you come up with some other thing and you keep it moving, unless you just want to go down that road of disaster. Another way to test her generosity. Say, hey, me and some friends are getting together. We're going to do some some habitat stuff, or we're going to volunteer. And say, hey, I'd like for you to come along. If she bails, if she comes up with some excuse, or, because this is another thing. If you ask a woman to attend something with you and she says no, and she does not offer an alternative date, that tells you a lot. I had this situation with this woman. We were having a good time. She was clearly attracted to me on a small level. And this is one of the mistakes that we as men make, because, we think, well, she said yes to the date, that we think her attraction level is where ours. Like, your attraction level could be like this, and she could be giving signals that her attraction level is like that. But, you're thinking, she out with me, we're doing stuff, of course she likes me. No, she does not. She likes what you're doing for her. And that's it. There's nothing else involved. So we go out, we have a good time. I test attraction level. I move to stage 2. Now, I'm not going to get into a lot of stage 2 stuff, because it may seem mannish. It may get this video taken down. That will be in the course. I'll be sure to put that in there. But we went to stage 2, lovely, went well, great. So we had set up another date. So another thing you want to do after a successful date is, before that date ends, you want to set up the second date. Lock it in. Did all that, green lights, look like we're going good, right? So I call her and she's like, oh, my uncle came into town. No problem. I don't have the kind of family to just drop in on you, but maybe she did. And she said, I'm so sorry, I can't make it. Okay. And I wait. There is no alternative date. There's nothing. So she passed a few tests, but she did not pass the generosity test. She did not pass the test of respecting my time. And she did not pass the test of reciprocity, because there are many good, solid, stable women that if something happens, this is what they're going to say. I can't, oh God, I am so sorry. I got to work late. I got to do this. I got to do this. They're going to get into exactly what the reason is very quickly, to the point. But what we can do, can you meet Saturday? I got you. That has been my response from grateful, decent, kind, normal women. They realized that they had made a commitment, and the commitment was broken, and they realized that the onus was on them to correct that. If she does not do any of that stuff, you have someone who has the high potential to use you, because she has no generosity. She has no grace. But once again, if you're all blinded by the booty, you can miss these big old red flags, Because here's the thing, and this is one of the questions I used to ask right off the riff. You know, I'm kind of feeling the vibe, right? If you and I were married, that's a supposition that I will put out to also test attraction level. Because if you say you and I were married and she's like, no, no, no. Once again, you know that you're messing with someone who's not really into you and they're using you. So I'll put it out there and I was like, if I came home and said, bae, I've been thinking, we need to get this economic family plan together. So if I came to you and I said, let's live on the highest income and save the other one. Because see, we're already married, so that should be cool. And I will sit back and listen. If you get a response like other than, that's a great idea. If you get a response other than that, you will have problems if you marry this woman. Because this is date 1, date 2, date 3. There's no skin in the game. And this is when they're going to be most honest, if you ask them the right questions. And I remember the last person, well, yeah, because I kind of went to a totally different dating scenario, which will be in the course. I'm not going to put that on YouTube. And she said, that's cool, long as it ain't my salary. And she knew that her salary was higher than mine. Selfish. Very, very selfish. And a lot of these selfish signs are wrapped up in sanctions that women expect, these niceties you should give and you should do. While you're being, quote, the man, she's being very selfish. She's being non-giving. She's being very, very just hard to deal with. But because you're blinded by the booty, you don't see this. Because the way that she is right now, especially if she's over 30, is the way she will be when you get married or when you get serious. It's not going to change. So you need to have a lot of little tests to figure this stuff out. Now, testing physical response gets very dicey. I'm going to be very careful with this because I don't want you guys to take this information and I don't want you to get in trouble because we have this era of sexual harassment. All right, you should do this. You can put your hand on her back, lower back. You can hug her. You can grab her arm. You could do a lot of physical testing. Now, the physical testing is to test physical attraction. She could be, quote, attracted to your mind. She could be attracted to your conversation, but she don't want anything to do with you physically, and that's fine. That's honest. I mean, people can feel any way they want to. So if you are making moves, and the goal is to make 4 to 5 moves, and if she just rejects or recoils or she acts very uncomfortable, she's not into you. She don't even like you. Even though she was smiling, even though when you took her to dinner, and once again, we're going to talk about how to date economically for entrepreneurs, because as an entrepreneur, if you're a successful entrepreneur, you have money. You can do these wonderful dinners. You can do all of this stuff, right? But you shouldn't. There are many people who, and this was in some of the comments of the crazy person, well, a man with money, he ain't gonna worry about dinner. Well, if you saw the course today, the earlier video about money management, if you're spending $250 a month taking women out, and you do this for 5 to 6 years, that same money could be 6 figures in the mutual fund. So it does matter. It matters greatly. All right, so what I'm going to do is just put this up here, let people know during the live stream only. You can get this for $124. The link's under the video if you want to check it out. Now, let's get into the chat room. Oh, man, I've completely forgot to get moderators. Let's hope there's nothing crazy in here. What's up, David Tillery, PT Hustle? Dante G, I'm married, but I still listen to the knowledge. What's up, Prince? What's up, Diana? Richard Poach, Nathan Harris, Kareem Yee, Cliff Peters, Crump. I'm just here to read, to be nosy and read the comments. That's funny. Aha. Hold on. I made a mistake. There we go. Married but trying to stay teachable. E-Pimp. Nathan Harris, super chat, lot offering button. What's up, Latanya Jones? What's up, Afriky? What's up, Shalise Hamley? Ganji, DC producer. Levi. Andre Kelly. I've been checking you out. You go hard. I try. Michigan in the house. What's up, Diana Thomas? Agent J. Poole, what's up? Diana Thompson, that's funny. Nathan Harris. Jen Sawito. Can't go to stage 2 because of sexual harassment these days. I want to talk about that. PT Hustle. I ended dates early due to smartphone use. I got a story for that one too. Afric, Glendon is so correct. I wish I knew this info in the past. I would have saved me some heartache. Well, now you're learning it. What's up, Roger? Ganji, Donald Hustler Jr. What's up? Cigar Face. I don't know about that, Cigar Face. I really don't. Father chick at the bus stop. That's funny. All right. Let's see. All right. Let's get rid of Cigar Face because he's clowning. What's good, Archangel? Crump. Physical tests aren't always true. I may not feel comfortable being touched till after the second or third take. It depends on if I know him previously. Crump 004. I have touched chicks. Because see, let's talk about this. This is about attraction level. If you're uncomfortable with him touching you on the first date, the second date, the third date, you really don't like him. What's up, Gerald? Wild Jones report, what's going on? These dating apps got games twisted. Okay, so let's get into number 5. Judge her like a person. And ask yourself this question. Would you be with this woman if she didn't have a vagina? Is her personality on point? Was she good friend material? Is she someone you can see spending a whole weekend, a whole week with, all day, all night? Because that's marriage. If you like, I got to get away from this chick, more than likely you can't marry her. You may like her. You may like having sex with her, but you can't marry her because one of the most common things that make many relationships go bad is the people can't stand being around each other. They like having sex with each other. They like going out, looking good together, but they really don't like each other on that personal level. But they love each other. They just don't like each other. DC the producer, wouldn't it be better to not tell a woman you're rich to weed out? Well, I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Archangel, women who are into you don't mind being touched. Again, like, yeah, I mean, seriously. All right, Charlton, I was always poor to the process. Over 55, I bailed on the process. Cleopatra would have to come looking at me at this point. The Wild Jones report, any concerns about physicality of the overall aggressive approach with women in today's climate? I'm not going to talk about some of the stuff, but if she's into you, you can grab her butt, you can even grab her breast, and she's going to be like, you so crazy, stop it. And lean into it. If she's into you, you can do these things because she's into you. If she ain't into you, that's when the sexual harassment, but we'll talk about that later. Women will tell you by their actions how they feel about you. Most men are blinded by their own interest to recognize that. D. Hectrix. It's true. It's very true. All right. So ask yourself in the comments, if she didn't have a vagina, would you hang out with her? Would you want to go to dinner with her? Would you want to have drinks with her if she didn't have a vagina? Because if the answer is no, why are you trying to date this chick? Rock Stone, wasted many years thinking I could change her, dealt with it because she was booming, slim, thick. Knowing me, I wondered what always happened that you got caught up in that situation. It happens. It really, really happens. One of the things that you have to do as a man, and this is really, really, it's going to be brutal. you have to figure out what is your number. And what I mean by that, you got to figure out what is your general attractiveness level to most women. And you got to, it could be brutal. And the reason you need to do this is once you know where you stand, you can improve, because women may not like your face, but if you've got a nice body, you can get in. Say this is the ranking system. We go nice boobs, nice butt, nice face. She's a 10. Women go, well, he's got a good personality. Seriously. Oh, he's kind of kids. Makes decent money. You kind of get like a correlation of a score. There's many, many things that can give you points if you know what to do. So the first thing is you got to get rid of the belly or get it down as much as possible, because I will admit, you got a lot of dudes who want a girl slim or nice, but they're fat themselves. That's really, really whack. And that's also you projecting your inadequacies on her. So you got to get your physical together. You have to. You got to. And also, you got to get your conversation together. You need to be able to talk about something other than sports. You need to have one or two topics that you're very passionate about, that you're very well informed on. That will work. Plus, it's also in line with you becoming a better man, which is the whole purpose. Now, after you've gone through all this, you've tested her, you've been on 5 or 6 dates. Once again, the classified dates are you go home, she goes home. You meet up or you pick her up and you drop her off. No smashing, because you got to find out if you can spend time with this woman. You do. You got to find out. Because if you just go in and smash, do an uneducated smash, you could catch feelings with somebody that you have no business being with. So that's why you got to be like, and also you should date several women at the same time. Once again, dating is not smashing. Dating is going somewhere, going out, having conversation. You should not go to crowded restaurants for dates. You should go to little cafes where you can talk and hear each other. Because if you're going to have a long-term relationship, you're going to be talking a lot. You're going to be spending a lot of time together. And if you can't do that now, you're not going to be able to do it later. It's just not going to happen. So hold on a second. Let me kind of give you some few pointers on what I call interesting dates. Let's see. Atlanta. All right. I am a creative, so a lot of my stuff, I do this. And I'm going to tell you about a few of my dates that were really winning. All right. Most major cities have these, and you're going to have to be a little bit more creative if you're not in a major city. All right. So the Center for Puppetry Arts, this was a date. It was not a nighttime date. It was a daytime date. She absolutely loved it. Loved it because it was interesting. It was different. And it was, let's see, what are the tickets now? Okay, so you still got like these things that are free. Lunchtime culture event. So you have that. And then you go to the High Museum. I think this is the Woodruff Screen on the Green. Do they still do this? I think this is the Woodruff Art Center. Which is right next door to the High Museum. All right. No, I don't know. Well, they used to have this thing called Screen on the Green. And what they would do between the High Museum and the Woodruff Art Center, they would set up this big screen and they would show movies, and it was free. I spent $10 on some wine, cheese, and crackers, got a little basket, got a blanket from my house. So we sat there, we were watching the movie. There was this moment, this magical, majestical moment where I went in for the kiss. She was ready, it was beautiful. And when we got back to the parking garage, this chick like cried. That's the best date I've ever been on. $10. $10. Oh my God. It's just like it's like magical. And I mean, she was really into it, and essentially, the poor thing, no one had ever taken her out on a date for real. This is kind of common, and one of the reasons for my dudes who are like 20, 25, 30, and you're like, I don't know what a date is no. If you learn how to date appropriately, you're going to save yourself a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. All right, so let's see. Let's see. I fell in love and dated a guy 4 years that I didn't let touch me till the third date. Crump, I'm going to say, because once again, you're going to try to convince me of stuff that I know has worked for years for me. And I have dated Indian women, I've dated Asian women, I've dated French women, and it was the same thing. So culturally, I'm not buying that. Ganchi. Right, Jafar, expat, nope. The Wild Jones, I know. DC the producer, no, it does not. Let me say this again, and I know y'all don't want to hear me. If she does not let you touch her, she don't like you. She don't like you. She likes what you can do for her. If she has to warm up to you touching her, she don't like you. It's that simple. Yeah, y'all can believe that all you want to. Because see, if this wasn't YouTube, I could tell you stories. Charlotte, the initial touches are very subtle. Finger, hand touches, shoulder touches. Exactly, charlatan. What's up, Jules King? True, Nathan Harris. Latanya, conversation rules the nation. Fair exchange, no robbery. Archangel, how do you feel about a woman say that once an alpha male going back to it's in your eyes to the situation in friend? Yeah, I knew they were going to win. They were unstoppable, charlatan. I'm going to speak on this candidly. I don't date alpha women. One of the things, and this is dating for entrepreneurs, if you are hard charging, going out, slaying dragons, and then you got a woman who's going out and slaying dragons, at some point, y'all are going to start competing because an alpha woman has way too much testosterone in her. And it ain't her fault, and she ain't trying to be that way. It's hormonal. We have hormones in the food that are crazy. That's why you got 13-year-olds that look like 18, 19, 20-year-old women. And there is a certain level of testosterone, and that competitiveness is going to come out. Now, you competing with someone you're supposed to be romantically linked to, it ain't going to work. So I don't date alpha women. I date women who have their own thing, who really don't want to start a business, who are perfectly comfortable with the job. Julius R. Johnson, it ain't that bad yet. If you're dealing with a feminist, possibly. Most women are not feminists, just so you know that. Roderick McMary. I don't know any books. This is all trial and error. Nettie Richardson. Sapiosexual intelligence is everything you got to want to evolve. Oh, look at you. Look at you. I can and have worked with less and turned it into more. She likes Home Depot projects. I don't believe in zodiac signs. That's a limiting belief. Being a salesman, I found that you hit the bullseye. That's why I even aiming at the target. That's funny. Agent Pool, daytime dates, non-usual dates like the museum has gotten me much play with decent women and got rid of those not worth it. Yeah, because see, a hood rat, it's not going to want to go to the museum. A party girl, she ain't going to want to do a picnic. This is classic. There was this chick that I used to mess with because she was kind of dumb, but the body was banging. And I'd be like, well, let's go here and here. No, can't do that. Then I would just like call her at 10 and say, what are you doing? Just laying here? I'm coming over. I would not ask her. I would just go over. And the whole time I'm driving, it's like, she go open the door, get there. She's like, what do you want? Oh, someone just took a shower. It was the craziest thing. She always wanted to go on these expensive dates, which never happened, but she was a very horny person. And if I waited long enough and just went over there, she would do it. Oh, let's see. Let's see. Hold on. It jumped on me big time. All right. It doesn't. It really doesn't. I'm going to tell you, I used to believe in the zodiac, and I even got so deep that you're reading charts and stuff. Then when I read the book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, I realized that I was creating a lot of self-fulfilling prophecy, so I just threw that out. I don't even look at it. I don't even care about it. I've dated Capricorns, which I'm a Scorpio. And I've dated all these folks that we're supposed to be, but see, this is the thing. As you develop as a person, you move away from that stuff. I mean, seriously, zodiac stuff, as you develop whatever your zodiac is, you become much different than the average. So once again, no, I don't believe in that. What's up, Rashida? Joshua Hill. I'm a fan, dude. What? Since the age of 7. Locks the chef. What's up, Glenda? My father from off topic. Would you recommend creating a holding? Yeah, we're talking about dating. You'll have to come back for another webinar on that. One of the things that we do is we keep it on topic. The topic here tonight is dating for entrepreneurs. And for those of you who want a special price, you need to go ahead and get this while the live stream is current. It's 124. The link's under the video. Oh, let's get back to this. Okay, Nathan. It depends on who you're dating, because you could try to take someone to Six Flags who doesn't like roller coasters, Archangel, I date Muslim and Middle Eastern women. The rule is still the same. If they're into you, hand on the back, simple touches are welcome. I know, I'm not even going for that. It's like, hey, you can't touch me. If a chick is like, you can't, she don't like you. She just don't. She may have even fooled herself that she likes you. What's up, Diddler Top? Afriky. DC the producer. What if she's religious, like really religious? Okay, let's tell this story. And this is why you got to become very good at body language. I was messing with this girl who wore the cross, dressed modestly, but I kept feeling that there was something else there. Because, she let me touch her. She let me do all kinds of stuff. And then one night I was at her place, and it was date like 8. And I'm going to talk about the things you need to do when you get to that point. And we hadn't had sex because I genuinely liked her as a person. She had great conversation. She was very smart. And then I just made my move. And as I was making my move, I was a little clumsy, and my hand went to her throat. Oh, yes, that's what, you know what I like. You know what I like, Daddy. Women can be very religious in the streets and very freaky in the sheets. So depends upon, once again, if she likes you. If she doesn't like you, she's going to use all these excuses. She's just going to play you. You can go out. You can't even sniff it. But if she likes you, I don't care. All right, let's talk about this. And we're going to get a little racial. There were people in the 60s, the 40s, the 50s, the 30s, whatever, who were black, and they were attracted to someone that was white. And these people dated and had sex when they could be killed. So if a woman likes you, She likes you. Think about this. Just seeing this guy could get them killed. But she saw him anyway because she liked him. Pretty much PT Hustle. I am feeling about the part of the girl I had no business dating, Gerald Mosley. Ricardo Roper. Most times, for most of us, the signs are there, but we run past these signs thinking we could change them. That is true. Pretty much, Nathan. Shalise, no, they don't. Well, at least she's a generous woman to adopt 2 kids. That's cool. Andre Keller, she may have a yeah. Andre, I'm going to test this and I'm going to use you. How many things that you did that your parents didn't know, and how many things that you did that if your parents knew, they would be ashamed? Andre Kelly. Just because you telling your daughters that don't mean they acting like that. Tell the truth, Andre. How many things that you did when you were a teenager that you knew would upset your parents? Get out of here with that. People act like I have not lived before. Tonya J. Ross. I remember when I was not ready to date, took some time from a bad breakup. I dated myself, took myself out, had great times when I started dating. It was cool. Well, I mean, you took time out because you were hurt and you need to heal up. That's perfectly acceptable. That's normal. That's very healthy. Sure thing, Locks. All right, changing my ex-wife's an alpha. We end up crashing. Well, the thing is, let's remove the word cheap. Let's use the word creative and economical, because look at your best friend in life, whether it be a male or female. Did you take your best friend out on a date? Y'all, some of you got best friends you kill for. And y'all didn't date. What'd you do? You hung out a lot. You talked. You enjoyed each other's company. So why is it when you're a person you marry or something, it's supposed to be your best friend? So why are you going about a completely different process than what you did to get your best friend? Just a thought. What's up, Nick Thomas? Ace Bank. Men, women tell me all the time how they ain't been on a date in a year or longer. Kind of crazy. Actually, it's not. People do not know how to communicate with each other, and I'm going to prove it. Next time you're in the checkout line and there's 3 or 4 people, pick one and start talking to them and watch what happens. Cashier may even get in on the conversation. We have gone from a nation where conversation was easy. This comedian, I'm probably going to mess it up, but he was talking about how when someone knocks on the door that we like, back in the day, someone, who's that at the door? And you go to the door, it's you. What are you doing here? I was in the neighborhood. I just dropped by. Well, come on in. Hey, Henry, put some Sanka on. So how's the wife? Well, we're doing good. Well, then, they break out the crump cakes, the tea cakes, and the coffee and the Sanka and all this other stuff, and they have a nice little visit for 30 minutes to an hour. That was the norm. That's how I grew up. Now, someone knocks on the door. Who's that coming at my, who? And you lock the door. We are afraid of each other. We are. So that's one of the reasons that a lot of people do not go on dates, because they're afraid of being hurt and rejected. The shower fresh is the best. Only 2 things open after 2 a.m. E-Pimp, when you say touch, are we talking about holding hands and kissing her? If you've grown up under traditional court, you don't even kiss until you engage or maybe even married. E-Pimp, it is 2018. I'm going to tell you a little dirty little story. This was many, many years ago, and it was on Craigslist. And this Indian chick answered one of my kinky ads. She was straight off the boat, as they would say. Got with her. Now, you can't get no more traditional than an Indian chick from India, right? The stuff that chick did to me, and she was traditional. Stop it. I mean, you folks are acting like, women had kids out of wedlocks in the 50s, the 40s, the 20s, the 30s. And Charles Dickens in London, all these orphans were from unwed parents. Stop it. Stop it. Very few people are engaged like that. What's up, Leroy? Jules, would you trust a chick who lets you smash the first night? Absolutely. Yeah, sure would. Scorpios. What did I say that for? Diffs. All right. Joseph Figueroa. Like energy is a universal principle. An entrepreneur for an entrepreneur. Both parties must have hustle and work and ethic that can't take their brands to the next level when they connect. I'm going to disagree with you on that one. I have tried. It just does not work when you as an alpha male, or as I'm going to start a channel called a disruptive male, and you're dating that woman who's out. It does not work. It doesn't. Someone's got to play the running back. If you're the quarterback, someone's got to play the running back. Someone's got to play the wide receiver. But the quarterback is the leader of the team. You cannot have two quarterbacks. You can't. I avoid religious women. That's not true, Maurice. I will say not so much church girls, but the daughters of preachers have a propensity for being loose. That's very true. Not all of them, but a lot of them are. So if you mean that church girl. I touch coworkers. Kellen, you might want to revise that policy. Okay. Let's see. All right. Let's go back. I jumped. All right. Diddler Top. Glennon, it seems guys have a hard time believing a woman will like you for no reason. Well, that's part of it is where many guys are taught the wrong thing. There are times that when you understand body language, you can actually see a woman thirsting for this dude, and she's invisible to him. It is. I would say more, but this is YouTube. Jay Fleming, what do you do about women wanting kids with you after a few conversations? Are they dateable or run? Strap up. When certain women get that urge to have a kid, it is more powerful than an atomic bomb. Be very, very careful. And number one, be thankful that she's honest with you. Do not run up in there without a condom. Pretty much. It's Stano 13. Oh, thanks a lot for this day. I remember the other day when you said you were alive and you brought up the subject of men not paying for dates, and several people did not understand. Yeah, because the thing is, if you're really dating, and let's be clear, dating with a purpose, like say you're a dude and you're like, you know what, I want a wife. You got a date totally different than going in the club, drop. That's not go. You might find a wife in the club. You might. But if you have a structured, predetermined program, a list of questions to ask to vet her out as a person. Because, all right, sex is great, sex is awesome, but it's much harder to find a friend than it is to find sex. So if you're really dating to get someone long term, you got to approach it totally differently. Hot Song Beats, would you consider Beyonce an alpha woman? Nope. Sean Carter runs that marriage. And how do we know? He cheated on her several times and he still has her. EZO 13, I'm in California. It's very common for us to match meaning the woman pays, the man pays, and go. Well, once again, California is like so far ahead of the rest of the country. I have no problem finding a woman that has no problem opening up her wallet. None. And people be acting like, oh God, you're letting her emasculate you for paying for a date. I mean, it's crazy stuff. I mean, it's serious. If you're really trying to build some of substance, it's going to take some substance building activities to get there. Jacqueline Smith, do you think it's important to talk about sex from the beginning, about likes and dislikes? Also, why do men have a hard time speaking to women after saying hello? I want him to say more. I would say you don't really have to talk about sex and dislikes if the compatibility is there, and you will find that out through the attraction test. What's up, young Brandon? I mean, seriously, she's straight off the boat. Freakiest thing I ever seen. More than some yoga. More deposit. What would you recommend to learn how to communicate better? Great question. You should keep a journal. You should become comfortable writing down your thoughts and expressing yourself in written word and then verbally. I would say go to Toastmasters and learn how to do public speaking. Because once you get up in front of a bunch of people and start speaking, then talking to one person is super easy. My mom was born out of wedlock. She was born in 1965. Edwards Wells. It's funny. People acting brand new. Let's see. I jumped again. Hold on. The Genesis Project. Oh man, I got so many stories. But I've lived a lot, and that's one of the reasons that I can understand why some of you disagree with me certain things. But when someone says traditional, you don't get no more traditional than an Indian chick or straight off the boat. I remember, and I didn't do this because she was arrogant, but there's actually a story on here. Let me see. I'm actually going to find it for you because I think it should be kind of easy to find. Let's see. I think it's called You Ain't That Pretty. All right, I guess I need to hit enter to make that happen. All right, I know what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to, all right, I'm gonna have to close some of these screens, so that's why it's slowing down. All right, I'm gonna find this for you. Craigslist stories. All right. There's a lot of this stuff happened a long time ago. Which is it? Let's see, which one is it? This one? Well, I think that's about the Japanese people. Where is it? My name is Take a Ride With Me. That chick was wild. I'm with the black guy. All right, let's see. That's kind of funny. Slick and Smooth, they were a trip. Here it is. The sexy Indian chick, You're Not That Cute. Check that out. That's hilarious. There really is. Maury. PT Hustle. I get a lot of hate from my women, from women my age, 41, because I only date younger women. Well, when no one wants you and you've hit the wall, it's kind of lonely, man. It's very lonely. The lonely train. That too, young Brandon. That happens to a lot of players when they slip. That's a religious thing. It's moral. What's up, DeMarcus? Stop it. Hot sauce. Maurice Anderson, it's easy to have sex, depends on the state, especially with non-attractive people. So it's really easy to have sex with really attractive women once you figure out a few things. Oh, I think, no, I would just, no. Could be. This is actually a relief for business before bed. Nick Thomas, that there's a lot of truth in there. Archangel, there's a guy that talks about how laying 5 bricks. Talk to 5 women a day for 2 months. Simple conversations that will start to comfort the holding a conversation with any woman. Pretty much. What's up, sense of reality? Pretty much. Oh yeah, we talked about this in 30 Days to 2500, because essentially, if you want to be a good salesperson, you need to learn how to talk to all people. This is something that happened to me, and I wasn't even looking for it. When you have a certain persona, I was at a pizza place in Buckhead, and I was just sitting there waiting on my pizza. Now, your energy that you project is very, very important. If you project needy energy, you know, you're trying to peep at a hot chick out your eye and stuff versus just staring, you know. So I was waiting for my pizza, and there was this girl next to me who I didn't really know that she was that hot because I was preoccupied with both my phones. And then she starts talking to me. She's like, why do you have 2 phones? And I'm like, this dirty Atlanta game. Here we go. I was like, well, I'm real busy. I mean, I need 2 phones because I do this, and I do this. And we just start having a conversation. And I intentionally did not ask her name. And then I was getting ready to leave. I was like, nice talking to you. And she's like, had that little look like, he ain't trying to crack. So I'm halfway to the door. She pays her bill. She comes after me. She starts talking to me. And she says, hi, my name is Gina. Here's my card. And on a scale of 1 to 10, she was 15. Got to know her, talk to her. Because the thing is, I kind of have a distrust of really pretty women because a lot of them are lazy. A lot of them get by on their looks. A lot of them get by on their sex. So I kind of have this mistrust until I will test a pretty chick real hard. So I put her through the gauntlet, so to speak. And, you know, she was a hardworking person. Come to find out that she was a VP. And she was always in and out of town and everything. And this little bird was lonely. And I was just like, you know, I thought men hit on you all the time. She said, the wrong ones. She was like, it was just funny because she had a lot of personal issues, but you know, overall a good person. Let's see. Maurice, stop it. If they have a good marriage and they work well together, yeah, they'll probably work very well together in the business. Mayamito, as women, we're looking for men who do stuff. Quit inviting women to your home. Jump off. It's a turn off. Okay, Mayamito Jones, you kind of like going off on the deep end. What are you talking about? Um, Miami though, chill. This is. I don't know what was said that got you triggered because this has been pretty much a PG live stream and it's been very positive. I don't know what's got you triggered. That is wild. No, you got to test. Women naturally test us. They naturally do. And when you start, I had this friend who I thought was crazy. Once again, I was a simp. It was truth. That's the reality was. And when I was a simp, I had all types of problems with women. Then after I went through the metamorphosis of getting divorced, going to the boarding house, I just became a different cat. And this dude, and we're in the boarding house, and he just like, gee, you ever come home and just knock all the dishes off the table just to see what your woman would do? And I'm looking at him like, I knew James wasn't wrapped too tight, but good Lord, that fool had a point. I had a situation where I was having a very bad day. And the girl I was dating at the time came over. And I was just like, you know what? I think you should just go home. I mean, I'm not good company. It's just really hard, and I'm just trying not to say anything rude to you. And she didn't take the hint. So I had a moment where I just started screaming, and I was just like, you need to go home. She had never been more turned on in her life. It was the strangest thing, because when certain things happen, I keep a catalog of like, why did this happen? Some of the best sex we ever had. And then she's like, you feel better now? You got that off your mind? It's crazy. Sense of reality, do you think it would be more important for a man to be a loner and have a chick on the side than be invested in a relationship? All right, here's the thing. Well, if you're having sex with a chick, you already have a relationship. Short-term relationship, you have a relationship and you have a lot of emotions involved. So it depends upon the man. It depends on what the man wants. It depends on the woman. It depends on what she wants. Well, you were just kind of like going off like crazy. Miami, though, I was just like boom, 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 boom. We ain't even talking about that. What's up, Zola? I mean, it's a move, man. It's a serious move, Nathan, of improving yourself and going through things. Now, let's get to some of these other principles. Now, once you've dated, you've tested her. Now, this is where it's about to get really freaky. This is in the course, but I'm going to give you a brief overview. You want to create a 30-day contract, a 60-day contract, and a 90-day contract. And write out certain terms, because what you want to do, because this it's a process. It's almost like a sales process. It's almost like a sales funnel where you're leading people down a chute. And when you do this, you're going to run into women who will be blown away because no one does this. And it's a real simple thing to do. Oh, there's so many. Jules King 54. No, I'm not from Atlanta. Andre Kelly. Yeah, you want a partner you can build with. And the partner that you can build with may not be the finest thing you ever dated. That is a hard thing for a lot of men to wrap their head around, because I remember working out at Lee Haney's Animal Kingdom. And this dude, whose wife divorced him and cheated on him. And this fool still had a picture. It's like, yeah, that's my ex-wife. She fine, right? Dude, she divorced you and she cheated on you. Why are you still throwing her props? And he's like, look at her. And I'm like, dude, I don't care. Dudes that like that, Maurice Anderson. What goals do you have for a relationship? Also, what do you think about public, private, Well, let's talk about goals. Goals are what you decide at that moment. Because here's the thing. When you meet someone, all you know is the here and now. You don't know what the future holds. You don't know what it's going to be like. So you can have goals, and this is something else. Your goals and her goals must be congruent, because you have men and women who build relationships up in their mind without talking to the other person. This is how a guy asks a woman to marry him and she says no, because he doesn't really know her. Ganji, y'all are funny. Y'all are hilarious. But that's a good part of what you can do to successfully date as an entrepreneur, because you don't want to lead with your money. You don't want to lead with your success. When I was writing that relationship book and I talked to over 200 women, this was a common sentiment. I married someone I didn't love because he was a good provider. Good for you, very unfair for him. And this one, she said, I tried to make it work. He had a little penis. I was like, oh my God, why she's telling me this? And she just said he didn't sexually fulfill her, so she cheated. And when he caught her, she took the kids, divorced him, and got child support and alimony. I was just blown away. And it was like she was unloaded, because it's like she wanted to get it out of her soul. She's just like, I did this. I was so grimy. I had this one. She told me that she got into BDSM because she felt that she needed to be punished for all the time she cheated on her husband. I am not making this stuff up. It literally blew me away, because when you give a woman a platform to be honest, a platform where she will not be judged, and I was like, it can be anonymous. They still told me their names. They just wanted to get it out. I mean, seriously, because let's take Bill Gates. Melinda Gates, she's attractive, but she ain't hot. Barbara Bush, she's attractive. She ain't hot. I mean, you see this over and over and over again. Successful, busy men. And then you can almost tell a guy who couldn't date the hot chick because now he's got success. Now he's dating a young hot chick. It's his money. So you have these things. All right, so I'm going to put this uphill one more again, because once this goes off, I'm going to, I'll do that one too. Here's a little brief intro. I got the budgeting like a millionaire. I got the first section done. It's pretty deep. And this dating pack, all the links are below. Like, this price is only available while this is going down. After I'm done with the live stream, it's going to go up. And this is something that I'm going to start doing. For those of you who show up, I'm going to break you off something proper. Yeah, because the thing is, I speak the truth that I speak, and you have a lot of people who get angry because I speak a truth. I know how a lot of women are. Is this all women? No. I even give you the ratios. I think that if you are a knuckle-dragging Neanderthal with decent conversation, decent physicality, you're not like grossly overweight, moderately handsome, your success rate with 80% of women is going to be very good. Now, there's a 20% of women who want a good guy. Don't care if he make a lot of money. Their friends like, oh, you're with him, you're a fool. There's a lot of women like that, and unfortunately, a lot of those women get used and played. So then they become part of the bitter army. It's a interesting world we live in. Maurice Anderson, Steve's job was super beautiful. Let's see. Let's look at that. And Steve Jobs was a complete asshole. Hello? I don't know about that, man. Nah, she's like a 5 or a 6. Nah. No. No. No, she ain't. No. I am not a billionaire, and I've dated women way hotter than that, so no. Andre Kelly, my wife is from Mississippi, from Louisiana. She comes from a religious background. I'm talking to daddy, a pastor. And I'm hood but intelligent and a go-getter in a legal way now. Dang, Andre. Oh, Nick Thomas. Hot song beats. That's true. Most people in general don't fall in the alpha category. Jacqueline Smith, if you're in a relationship, is this all about what you can accept? Many people have a lot of baggage already. That's true. LaTanya, I don't know. Edward Lewis, true. Nick Thomas, even the baddest chick is getting on somebody's nerves. Facts. No, that's his wife. Steve Jobs is dead. No, that's her. See? You like, wait a minute, they ain't her because she looks so normal. That's her. That would be her. She ain't super beautiful, dude. I guess in your opinion she could be, but she pretty much falls in line with what I said. Let's see. Now, notice I didn't say they were ugly. I didn't say they were pound puppies. I just said they were attractive. They weren't like hot. You just see it throughout these. You see it all over the place. When I look up the billionaires and stuff, and I look up their wives and family, and the ones who are still married and have kids and look happy, they don't have super hot wives. They just don't. There's a reason. And it looks like Melinda works out. Look at these arms. She buff? Go ahead, Melinda. With your buff self. So let me close that. No, not true. Not true. I've dated a lot of regular women. Women are the perfect weapons. Shalice, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. That's true. We ain't getting into that. We're going to try to keep this clean. She's buff, man. I like muscles on women, though. That's one of the things. But essentially, you got to have a plan. Now, since we're into this, I'm gonna, because like I said, you know, this stream only has 2 dislikes, and we're gonna keep it there. I'll talk about that later. But seriously, as a man, you got to know yourself, and you got to know what you want from a woman. If you want sex, there's nothing wrong with just asking, and she says no, leave her alone. Just be like, okay, well, thanks. You have a nice day, and just walk off. There ain't no reason to get rude or crazy and nothing like that, because someone had mentioned it before, that if you approach 5 women a day for just conversation purposes, if you approach 5 women a day, in that week, one of them's going to offer to give you some. Seriously. Nick Thomas' style is more important than substance. What's up, Brolicon? You've been no tattoos, no smoking either. Yeah, I'm kind of mixed on tattoos. I really don't know. I think it depends upon the artistic merit of the tattoo, because there was this one girl that I ended up being with, and she had tattoos I did not know. She had 2 sleeves. She had bows on the back of her legs, and it just fit her. So, you know, I just think it depends. It's a case-by-case thing, because some people have some butt ugly tattoos. Look at Van Damme. He left his average wife for a super hot woman. What are you talking about? You talking about Gladys Portuguese? Dude. All right. We about to go for some pictures here, because they actually got back together. Gladys Portuguese, if you didn't know, was one of the first female bodies. I mean, you know, Bev Francis and everything. Let's see. This is not Gladys. I don't know. All right. This is Gladys. I don't know what you think is hot or not hot, but Gladys is pretty hot, and that's who he's with now. And Gladys Portuguese, and they got married again. They got married. They got divorced in '92. Now they're back together again. They got married again. So I don't know, because I know a lot about them, and I don't know who he left or whatever, because they've been together a long time, and she's got to be. Let's see. She's got to be like 50. No, she's older than me. So she's 60 years old. Still looks pretty damn good to me. I don't know. Call me crazy. Jacqueline Smith, what do you prefer first, intelligence, beauty, or a great sex drive? Depends upon the woman. There is no, you know what? I think the common denominator in all the women I dated were they were reasonable and cool. So I think that's what I like first. Woo, man. Charlatan, happy sexual harassment day. PT Hustle. Patrice O'Neal was seriously underrated. He really was. I am 51. Better have my money. Speaking of money, let's get into it. Let's get into it. All right. So you already know, I'm going to put this up here. For you guys who want it, Disruptive Mating Romantic Success Pack is $124 during this live stream only. Once I end the live stream, the price goes away. But while we're in here, for those of you who have not a lot of money, well, actually, I want you to start with this. The Superior Mindset Bundle that will help you and give you a money-making course. For those of you who need help with your credit, get the super credit, how to fix your credit, grow it, and alternative cash. Once again, I'm probably going to change this week. So everyone that gets in now gets the crypto course as well. And for those of you who want to do Hustle Camp, if you're not on the text notification squad, you want to get on it, because I'm going to do some very special things with that. So if you're not on it, you will not know about these. And probably not going to send out anything tonight, but definitely tomorrow night. So all the links are below, plus there will be some more courses coming. All right. Maury, she's not white. She's Spanish. No. Online dating can be cool if you got the skills. E-Pimp, Linda Murray, all of that. All right, so I'm probably way over. Oh, not too far over. So, all right, I'm getting ready to get out of here. Be sure to get whatever courses or packages you need. All the links are below the video. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to get on the text notification squad. And I will see you good people later. See, this was the friendly G. Because if you want to date someone, date appropriately. Don't just go out there in the wild and just be picking up hood rats and try to turn them into housewives. it's just not going to work because they're irrevocably broken, most of them. So with that, I am bouncing.